Okay, this is known as a brown Bess, B-E-S-S, brown Bess. This was used by both the American and colonists, really, and the British soldiers. This is based on a British gun known as the brown Bess, and it is a musket, not a rifle. That means it's what they call a smooth bore. There's no spiraling inside of this chamber. It is just smooth. So what you do is, and I'll show you in a minute what a musket ball is, you put some black powder and a musket ball down the barrel. You take your ramrod, you turn the ramrod around, and you ram the ball home, what they call ram it home, onto the black powder, okay? So that's one of the steps you use to load and fire the brown Bess musket. Now, there is a big difference. You would think they would want to use a rifle, and a rifle inside the barrel has a spiral to it. So when the bullet comes out of a rifle, it spins real fast and is much more accurate. So you'd say, why wouldn't they use an accurate piece of equipment rather than something that is not very accurate? The reason is they have what they call volley fire. So they were able to all line up in what they call linear warfare, based on the European style of fighting, and then they would load and fire their musket at the same time. Now the musket ball would bounce down the barrel, so it all depends on how it came out of the barrel. If it was a straight line, you might hit your target. Usually it bounced off a little to the right, a little to the left, a little up, a little down, and you missed your target. However, by using volley fire, with everybody firing at the same time, you had a fairly good chance of hitting a target. Now, another reason they used the brown Bess was because the people that were really good at it, the soldiers that were good at it, could load and fire 3 times in 1 minute. With the rifle, it probably, after firing it a couple times, would take you 3 to 5 minutes to actually load and fire. And by that time, anybody using volley fire would wait you out, and it wouldn't be any good. Now, I'm going to show you a musket ball. So, can you cut it off, or? No? Okay. What you do is you'd have a cartridge, and you actually, as funny as it sounds, you needed 2 teeth, one above the other, to be in the service, and you bite off the end of it. Inside of this is some black powder and a musket ball, and this is made out of pewter. So you put the black powder down here, you drop the musket ball in, and remember I showed you how to ram it home with the ramrod. Okay, now the interesting part of all this is what they call the flintlock, which is this mechanism right here. Okay, now this is basically flint and steel. So what you do, you would do what they call half cock your flintlock. You'd hear that. You try to pull the trigger, can't fire it. So that was an expression, don't go off half cocked, meaning you aren't ready to actually produce anything. Then you would pour a little bit of black powder down in here, which is called the pan. Then the order was shut pan. Okay, now that would trap the black powder down here. Then you'd full cock your flintlock, and if, with any luck, we might see a spark. We're going to try. See it? What, none? I'm going to try it one more time. And it's very tough to get a spark. It was there. Okay, the spark drops into the pan, ignites the black powder, which jumps through a little hole, ignites the black powder here, and that sends the musket ball out on the end. Okay? Now, if the soldiers could get close to each other, all right, in their battles, hold on a second here, they would actually have, they would do what they call fixed bayonets. They would put a bayonet on the end of their musket. Okay, that meant they were in close quarters, and that we do it. Now, the last thing I just want to tell you is, one of the reasons why you saw people wear what they call a tricorn hat, meaning 3 corners, is when you were actually fighting, you needed, when you shouldered arms, you needed that, rather than have a full hat where it would keep hitting the brim, the tricorner would allow you to shoulder arms and then go ahead and load and fire. So again, wrapping it up, Brown Bess, based on the British rifle, and it's a smoothbore musket, not a rifle. Thank you.